immediately went on missions, and she was working from 2 till 10. And I think she had weekends off, but my father was working night shift, 12-hour shifts. Usually 7 days a week.
Wow.
He'd have a day off every so often. Well, of course, to them, they were thinking, oh, we're coining money, you see. So they kept doing it, which is why I was always with my grandfather and going to school, of course. But the fact that they were making money, my mother became so, well, she was very smart, loved machinery and things like that. She was a bit haphazard, but she must have been doing a really good job. She was reaming out gun barrels. In those days, the women were there to just operate the machine, and then men, the skilled men and the semi-skilled men, set the machine. Well, it wasn't long before my mother and her friend, they could both set their machine. Well, then they asked for more money, and they said, no, because, you know, you're women, you can't. So they said, well, then we won't set anymore.
Right.
So they got semi-skilled pay. So my mother was quite a person for getting equal pay. And then Auntie Olive, when she was tailoring, she was, the men, first of all, the tailors were what they call reserved occupation, because they were making officers' coats.
Yeah.
But as it became a shortage of men, I think he probably had to go and work in a factory or something making clothes. But he couldn't work in the tailors anymore. And so Auntie Olive was allowed to make an officer's overcoat. Well, a naval officer's coat was very heavy. And she made this coat. And the officer heard that a lady had made it, and a very tiny lady, she was tiny. And he sent a letter thanking her and saying it was the best coat that he'd ever had. So she went up to Mr. Clotworthy. So she said, oh, Mr. Clotworthy said, oh, you can make the other officers' coats. So she went up to Mr. Clotworthy and said, now, I want to be paid the same as John Barrett for it. And he said, oh, Miss Calloway, you can't do that. No, no. And he absolutely refused. So she took the coat she was making, put on the thing. She said, well, you make it yourself. So she went off and went to work on munitions. So they were both campaigners for today's woman.